Hello, it's this Mystery Gambit here with a new stream. And in this stream, I'm going to be going over the event week for this week from very early Thursday in Grand Theft Auto Online. It's going to be ending this Thursday as per usual, whatever for technical time, with Wednesday being the last full day of the event. So, yes. Going into the title, there is going to be 3 times money and then RP for the Lamar missions. But yes, the Lamar missions, not this time around, that will include both his regular missions and his lowrider missions. So pretty much every single Lamar mission is going to be on a 3 times money thing this time around, as well as RP. The only ones that's not 3 times technically would be the short trips. That's on its own money opportunity this time around. But there is going to be something going on with that, as I'll explain later on. Now, Lamar missions. He has some of the worst paying missions, I would say personally. He also does not have anywhere near the amount of variety as ones like Martin, Madrazo, and like Lester, some of those like better contacts you usually do missions for. So it's not the greatest, but at least it is on 3 times, and it should be some pretty alright money. Contact missions are some of the better paying stuff when it comes to like pause menu money opportunities that aren't like directly for free modes, and that's always good there at least. So it definitely can be a nice one, especially if you have the 9th gen version like myself with this career progress. I believe on career progress there is a thing for the lowrider missions, that there is incentive to go for that during the 3 times event at least. So depending on how you go about it, it can be something pretty nice, especially for the lowrider missions. I'll go more in detail maybe on particular missions when I get in the game now, for ones that grind and whatnot. And then yes, taxi work, going into the main menu here. There will be 30% off of the taxi. So if you want some like convenience with your Pegasus service, if you want to be able to call it a taxi for your Pegasus, that's going to be 30% off. We can definitely add a bunch of new capabilities for taxi work, so you don't have to keep going to the building. Quite frankly, it's pretty fine just going to the downtown Capco. I don't really feel you really need the convenience in this case. It's not like taxi work is super worth doing in my opinion. But yeah, 3 times money. I think you make like a couple thousand for like a fare and stuff, and not super great. Like on normal money, I mean. Maybe like 5 to 10,000 a fare, somewhere around there on 3 times. On the higher ends, it's not super great free mode money, to be quite honest. Even 3 times, I don't think we'll really do much for that. Quite frankly, you're better off just doing a contact mission this event, since that's the huge focus this time around. And then there's 2 times money for Sumo Remix, 2 times money RP here. Sumo Remix isn't one of those like adversary modes. So if you still need Sumo Remix for tier 4 on like adversary mode, whatever, in the 9th gen system with the career progress, that can be pretty nice. But yeah, this mode is available permanently, I'm pretty sure. It's not one of those like monthly ones they cycle in and out of the game. So there's no like FOMO on this one, there's no fear of missing out on this one now, I'm pretty sure. So I only really recommend it on 9th gen for career progress sake. And yeah, depending on like the game mode, the amount of players allowed, and like how long the like, game mode can last and whatnot, like amount of rounds and stuff, I would say a couple 100,000 like per hour or something at most. I wouldn't expect anything super crazy from that one. Again, you're still better off with like contact missions, I would say. And for another set of contact missions, there's raw contact missions for 3 times money in RP. Pretty fitting since he kind of got some more use in the latest Andreas Mercenaries update, kind of in the slightest. Not very much, unfortunately, but I kind of get why they did Ron for 3 times as well. Lamar is more of a random choice, quite frankly. Ron does make a bit more sense. Alright, got the Dark Mana Racing suit. During the last couple boring money events, pretty much. That weren't super great for money, I would say. Besides for the time travel thing from the previous event. That was the only super good part in the last couple of times for money, I think. But here's confirmation for the Lamar thing, since that was not on the main menu. And yes, it does say it includes the lowriders. They always pretty much use the lowrider image, but there's times where it doesn't include a lowrider. But this time it does. And the short trips I kind of mentioned earlier, that'll be on 2 times money RP. Yeah, short trips I mentioned earlier will be 2 times money RP. Quite frankly, even though it's only 2 times, I do feel short trips for money making is kind of technically your best opportunity for money making for contact missions. Yes, you play as Franklin Lamar on his missions, so you do not get to use your personal vehicles on that one. You have to use the Franklin Lamar vehicles pretty much on his missions. And then you get limited weapon loadouts, which does make them a bit more difficult. But you get $100,000 on his missions on 2 times money RP, which is pretty insane. I did actually do a couple this event for my tier 3 of the contract DLC. I think I finished up for that. So I did already play a couple this event actually. And I do believe it's on hard mode you get 100,000. I want to say for sure. Maybe it's a little more in hard mode. I don't know if the people I was joining with as Lamar, because I know it's a requirement for part of the tier 3. I was playing as Lamar, so I was joining ones. I wasn't hosting them, so I don't know for sure if that was normal or hard pale, but 100,000 pretty good for contact missions standards for sure. So if you on 2 times, that might definitely be the best choices for money in there between all the different types of contact missions. And yeah, another thing about this apparently I don't think there's anything here I wanted to mention really. Yeah, I think everything has pretty much been mentioned. Nothing really to add with that description at all. That's pretty much it. That's for jumping into the game here then. Figure out check real quick. Nothing going on with heists. As expected. confirmed, you do have a career progression thing for the lowrider missions. But yeah, just a standard set of stuff from like the latest Andreas Mercenaries content. All those same challenges, basically nothing different. Except you have like 8 missions instead of like 6, basically. I haven't watched a guide on any of that, but I might try to shoot for it, I don't know. I may record for it as like possible video content, not more like a stream now. But it's just definitely a really good time to go for these, because I doubt they're super popular unless they're on a money opportunity. Because if you are on this version of the game, I would definitely shoot for as much of it as you can. Because I think there's 28 tier 4s, and for Nico's outfit you need 25, which is the highest clothing unlock for that all. For like outfits for like previous characters from like the single player games and whatever. And again, same with the contract ones, I imagine those missions aren't really the most popular for randoms and stuff to be doing, so this is a good time to be doing that too. Me personally, I shot for to complete all short trips by Lamar. I did finally get to finish that up for the last 2 I needed. So all I have now is a payphone hit thing there, and I'm basically going to begin the Yuka custom, which is pretty exciting. And it's super easy, we gain assassination bonus 100 times. Just that new 48-minute cooldown with Andreas and Mercenaries is kind of shit now. Mountain States, never mind, I'll get out a little later. Still, I was curious as I looked. I think I had those enabled for certain tier 4s. When I stream and stuff, probably better not have them on now. So I can find things quicker. Okay, there's the stash house down there. Which I'll likely go for at some point during the stream, so I'm getting some sort of business stuff. Side export vehicle order, apparently, okay. Gotta go over to the Carby anyways, and it's not far from this docks. So maybe doing that pretty decent here. Alright, so time travel stuff, like frame race, stuff like that. The daily time travel for Monday here would be casino, 1 minute part-time. I think there's a way you can kind of cross over from like here to here. You can like skip the little drive through the bridge, which might save a bit of time. I think it was like over here or something. I know, aside for the little skip at the beginning, I don't really know if there's much of a skip you can do on that one. But yeah, that's a daily trial for Monday. A little tiny bit of advice I remember for that one. Possibly, possibly not. Could be risky being on the highway and stuff, I don't know. Daily RC Bandito time trial for Monday here is Fuente Blanca. This is one of the ones I'm more familiar with actually here for some advice and whatnot. But yes, this one here, certain vehicles can like spawn at times and whatnot, so be wary of that. There can be like limo spawns and stuff, so be wary of that. So that's why it's pretty straightforward, I would say, and just knowing how to corner on it and whatnot, like per usual. HSW time trial this time around is actually the very last one, apparently, North Chumash for the weekly HSW time trial, because this one is still weekly for this set. But yeah, I'm pretty excited to use Monstrosity on this one. This Monstrosity should definitely be a pretty interesting one, because this is pretty much the most off-road heavy time trial for the HSW set of time trials. So I could see the Monstrosity being a pretty damn great option for this one, especially with all the off-road, on like the GPS route, at least. If there is another good route you can take, I'm not much sure on that one, quite frankly. That might not be as off-roady and whatnot. Besides for that, pretty much any of the newer Andreas and Mercenary ones usually will be some of your better options. I think the most disappointing one for the new Andreas and Mercenaries content is the HSW Bravado Buffalo EVX. That one did not really top the Vigera ZX from Colonel Enterprises. But I would say pretty much any of those other ones are pretty damn good usually for the newest update and some of your top options for like lap times and top speeds and whatnot. But you can really use anything, because if you have not noticed, there's no part-time on this since I'm not an HSW vehicle. Part-time is kind of different for each vehicle depending on like the class of it or something. So you can really use anything though. Unlike regular time trials where you pretty much have to use something pretty speedy to do it pretty good.
How's it going?
And yeah, the Junk Energy time trial for the day of Monday here is Mountain State. 1 minute 35 seconds. Part-time apparently. I'll definitely try that one myself here since they are some of the newer ones if you want to try them.
What's up?
So that's pretty it for my starting stuff. And again, the game pretty much I think it's just Premium Race at this point. And yeah, the Premium Race for this week is for Muscle Car Class. So Muscle Car Class, as of the current moment on the 9th gen version of the game, I'm pretty sure there's 3 HSW vehicles for Muscle Car Class now as of the Bravado Buffalo EVX. So yes, I think the worst of them tends to be the Arbiter GT. Arbiter GT I think is pretty bad lap time actually. Arbiter GT is one of the worst ones I believe in terms of lap times, similar to the NTMT that was released from like Los Santos like Drug Wars, pretty sure on that. So for the most part, you probably won't want to use the Arbiter GT. That one's really only super good for top speed, if I recall. And then the Bravado Buffalo EVX HSW, that one's pretty much second place for lap time and top speed from what I remember watching from Riffy132 on the recent YouTuber's video. So yeah, it's pretty much a single placement behind the Vigera ZX for lap time and top speed. Your main benefit would possibly be acceleration, since it is an electric muscle car after all. So you might get a little bit quicker to your top speed, but it will be a bit not as good top speed, especially for your, like, Vigor ZX, for example. But it's a good second option if you don't want to use a Vigor ZX. It's a good runner-up option, at least. That one's at least pretty usable in most races, unlike the RGT for 9th Gen. And then last but not least, for 9th Gen for HSW vehicles, you have the Vigor ZX, which I do believe is actually available right now in the luxury autos, so you can get it over there if you don't want to get on the website, but you can get it on the website. It's not vaulted or anything, as you would expect. I don't know why I was ever over that there, but still. Vigor ZX is pretty much going to be your number one option. So unless there's much benefit to acceleration, you should probably run that one usually. But either that or the Bravado Buffalo EVX is fine, really. For 9th Gen. And then for 8th Gen lap time top speeds, I imagine it could feed us several like vehicles or something at most. That could be good there. Alright, yeah, I'm looking at the spreadsheet right now, and yeah, the Arbor GT is pretty piss poor for lap time compared to other HSW vehicles, so you probably won't be using that one really, unless you want to be risky or something. But again, Vigor ZX, Bravado Buffalo EVX for number 1, number 2 for 9th Gen. Now for 8th Gen, where you do not have the HSW vehicles. Some good options include, for lap time in particular, the Bravado Buffalo STX, the like contract DLC Buffalo with like the bull resistant glass, and you can get armor plating and stuff on it. The Weevil Custom, the customizable, the like custom version of the Weevil that they added with the Colonel Enterprise DLC that turns it over from like compact class over to muscle class. It gives it all kinds of crazy customization, being a Benny's vehicle after all. And then the third good lap time option kinda looks to be the Dominator ASP from like the Los Santos Tuners' DLC, the better of those two tuner muscle car vehicles, the Dominator ASP. So those are your very good options for a lap time. Now the spreadsheet as of Colonel Enterprise DLC or something, so it's a little outdated. I'm not sure like if you can replace it with some other ones. Maybe the regular version. Maybe the regular version of the Vigor ZX and... Actually, no. Vigor ZX regular is like number 4 for 8th Gen, so I wouldn't really use that one really for lap time. But perhaps the regular version of the Bravado Buffalo EVX could be another good one for lap time. Not the most sure on that one. But either way, gets some pretty alright lap time options, I would say, for sure. For 8th Gen, and then for top speed... For top speed, it looks like your Weevil Custom once again will be good for that one. So for 8th Gen, it kind of looks like your good option will be the Weevil Custom, since it's great for lap time and top speed. Number 4, Pisswasser Dominator looks like will be pretty good. The Dominator with like the Pisswasser like logo, like livery and stuff on it. That's pretty good for top speed. And that's even a free vehicle if you're a returning player from the 8th Gen version, or like 7th Gen to 8th Gen. So if you've had like the 7th Gen version and 8th Gen, and it's like all linked through like Social Club, whatever, I think you even get that one for free. And then, yeah, your number 5 for top speed will actually be the Buffalo STX. So really, it's looking like the Weevil Custom and the Buffalo STX for some of your more impressive options. at least from 2022. I'm not sure about the Bravado Buffalo EVX, like the regular version. That one might be pretty good. Maybe not. At least for a lap time. And yeah. I'm not going to show the course that it goes on. You can find that on your own just by starting the job with like Squared or X on Xbox, whatever on PC. And then yeah. On the lobby screen, or even when you're like choosing a vehicle or something like that, I believe you can check the map of the race as well. So you can get pretty familiar with the map of the race even before the race starts. So that should be plenty enough advice there. Actually, I think I do gotta do that right now, because I think if I just go in the interior, it's actually gonna take it away. Yeah. It's not really a good time right now. I feel to go for an expert vehicle. I don't know. I really do want my team to run now. Fine, why not? It's there, I'm gonna take it. Eventually I'll get to the casino. I wanna grind my tuner right because I can. It's my stream, I'll do it. My character, my stream, I'll do it if I want. And I want. Okay, Grady Brioso RAF Compact's pretty interesting vehicle when it comes to 9th gen. I do kind of talk about the vehicles that go into just to make the drive and stuff a little bit interesting. But yeah. Back when it first released in the Cunning Stunts update, I think it was one of the like earlier vehicles to have the livery supported pretty much. I don't know. Cunning Stunts was interesting when it comes to liveries, that there was 2 liveries. And even have no livery on the vehicle, you pretty much have to do it through a mod shop, which is pretty interesting when it comes to any of the Cunning Stunt DLC vehicles. So it's pretty interesting in that regard for 8th gen, I guess. But 9th gen is really where it's at on the Brioso RA, where you can get that HSW upgrade, as you could see from the thumbnail earlier on that like one I talked about. I think that one did actually show the Brioso RA on it. But it's a pretty interesting vehicle in 9th gen, especially. Pretty fun. I think it's the only HSW compact in the game so far. So it makes it very unique there. Oh shit. Oh god, what the fuck? Oh, that's like the worst disasters I've ever had with an export vehicle. What the hell? Kinda got it stuck for now. Well, that was interesting. And yeah, usually I do these streams on Sunday, but I did a little later on Monday. Because I was quite addicted to a Nintendo Switch game, quite frankly. I finally fucking beat a certain game and shit, for the story and shit. So I was doing some post-game shit on like a Switch game, so I was I was too addicted to that shit, god damn it. And the game it was the like Chronicles 3. I finally beat that shit, finally. After like 400 plus hours of the game. Completing absolutely everything I could. Because I'm a huge completionist of games, really. That vehicles kind of go for 100% and stuff, as I show in the walkthroughs and whatnot on this channel. I'm trying to climb up their character, but okay. But yes, I finally complete Seaman Chronicles 3, which is really cool. Still haven't touched the DLC story on that yet at all, really. Because I still gotta do post-game on it, damn it. And I'm struggling on Atlanta Challenge shit. Like the second to last fucking, like, one that unlocks there. Where you have like a bunch of like hero characters you gotta fight and shit. God damn it. Gotta do that shit in like 15 minutes if you forgot strength or some shit. Oh god, I didn't realize what was gonna happen there. So busy talking over shit. That's kinda why I'm later on the stream. But quite frankly, it's also bullshit. It's a second event in a row where there's no major content mission whatsoever, though. Literally, there's no major content mission in this. Which, if I didn't say earlier, there's nothing major in this week here. I think it was pretty clear with the title and stuff, though. There's nothing interesting going on this time in that regard. I noticed not many trophy vehicles, but like Christ, bro. Quite frankly, I don't know what to suggest, but I don't know, it's kind of unusual if I would have two, like, events with nothing really in a row. I feel.
The Diamond Casino and Resort
Like, at least every other week they should do something interesting, I feel, whatever. Okay, the podium vehicle for the week here is definitely the Class A Drift Yosemite. It's the drift version, not the regular one from like Doomsday Ice, but the one from like the Casino Ice. That's the drift one. Definitely certain from that update. So yeah, because of two like generic events in a row, I just didn't really feel like streaming on Sunday anyways. I did do it a day later because I was not as inspired to do that. Oh, mystery. Pisswasser. I'm pretty sure that's a snack, I'm pretty sure. Yep, I literally got a bottle of Pisswasser. Real. I think it sounds stubborn if it's still on the website. Okay, you can still get on the website, okay. So, trade price for this one, you just use it in Heist Finale with the vehicle selected, which turns it down to 981,000. If it has a livery on it, it would still be a little over $1 million. If you keep the livery, I imagine for savings. But still, you can save like 1.3 plus million on this one upwards, which is pretty nice. So no FOMO on this one, you can buy it if you want, even if it's not the only way to get it right now. But yeah, I know the regular Yosemite is pretty alright, but Drift Yosemite I don't really think has pretty great performance on this one. According to Ruffy 152 Racing YouTuber spreadsheet, Drift Yosemite is in the C tier for muscle car class. Top of C tier. At best, gives it a 13th place for lap time, maybe a little worse even with newer updates. And like 49th place at best for top speed. But yeah, this one's not great for performance. You want the regular Yosemite if you want one for performance. So, not really a great performance vehicle. I wouldn't really bother too much trying to get it. But yeah, this Blaster Freedom Mystery, that was pretty interesting. I think that's probably the most useless thing I've ever got for Mystery. Not that happens much, but still. I got a fucking beer from that shit. Pretty sure it was beer right there. I'm not even that big on beer personally, so fuck that shit. If I did want to buy another one, I think it's for the store, if I recall, I think. Because I want to be topped off on 10 again, god fucking damn it. If I wanted to celebrate it by getting it, whatever. I don't need to go to the store, but I'm doing it. I think they have it.
I'm about to punch out, so...
You can't carry anymore, it's not that it ran out of stock or whatever, because I mean that can happen in these stores if I remember before. There, got my piss monster bet. Do I want to do it? I don't know. Fuck it.
No. I'm about to go home. I know the drill, okay?
Give me that gas, motherfucker, and then fucking damn it, bit. Fuck. Gives me some bottles, but fuck wasn't this ammo. Yeah, I'm moving around like a maniac, motherfucker.
That's every last cent, I swear.
How's 155? That's a better reward than the Pisswasser. There, that's my true mystery reward. -5, that's about 350, that's right. So that's my true reward then. And yeah, about the drift Yosemite, I forgot to mention you can actually get the drift tires in the LS Carmi now, in the last couple years, whatever. So the drift Yosemite technically has some extra values in the last couple years since you can get the drift tires on it now. But doesn't really increase the value of it too much, I feel, really. But it does make it pretty fun, actually, with the drift tires on it. Whatever they're called. Alright. Test our vehicles this time around here in Calca GTF. There's a Comet SR. And Bravado Greenwood. One might be on discount, it might be that Greenwood. I think any other two are different full price though. Alright, yes, that is indeed correct. I looked before talking more on this. Yeah, this is the Sport Tuner subclass vehicle. Going on to 17, like 18, 19, 20 of the Tuner subclass vehicles, whatever amount. Calco GTF is a pretty good one actually when it comes to street races, pursuit races. So if it does have one weakness in the Tuner particular content, it would actually be the robbery contracts, which is a huge moneymaker really. But being good at the street races, pursuit races is a good enough reason to recommend getting this one. It's pretty average though, it's kinda not like super strong in a lap time or anything. Your best at lap time I think is the Sultan RS Classic, so it's not compared to that. And just your RR for your top speed, I'm pretty sure. And yes, Sultan RS Classic is also pretty average on top speed too, so it's not just great for a lap time. So it's not super necessary, I would say, to get the Calca GTF, but it is a pretty good one though. For a tuner subclass. PFS or Comet SR. I know this one's available permanently, I gotta check on that one. I'm pretty sure Greenwood's available permanently because it's a money tech. I'd definitely be in here. Comet SR's Doomsday Heist, I'm pretty sure as well. So if it's not there, then it's not on the website. Alright, yeah. Comet SR is vaulted, it looks like, so you have to get it over here. Only for the 1 week, certainly. It's a pretty limited vehicle here. price. Not super expensive for today's standards. It's pretty affordable, I would say. But yeah, I'm not going to go into exact performance since it's not on discount. I think it is actually pretty good somewhere for like lifetime and top speed. It is actually kind of still pretty good from what I remember on that one. It is in a transform race, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if I remember exactly which one. But somewhere in the transform races, I'm pretty sure you have to use the Comet SR. Not any sport car, I think it's the Comet SR in particular that is useful there. So I can't help for Rockstar create transform race if those ever go on a money opportunity again. And Bravado Greenwood on 30% off, whatever. Only $769,125. I do believe it's one of the worst money techs as well, so it's not too surprising. Yeah, there's Calco GTF. Confirmed. Greenwood might be on there too, I'm not actually much sure on top of my head. Yeah, it definitely is there. Oh, it's also 4-door actually. That's right. Little preview had some discounts. On trade price, they're $1,090,000 and 69,125. Only a couple $100,000 off, which isn't a super huge deal, but at least it's under $1 million there, so that's cool. But yes, this one has armor plating. Has armor plating, but it's not going to be your best explosive resistance. Best explosive resistance on a money tech is always the electric cars, because they don't have like a gas like patrol tank, whatever. So that's kind of logic behind that. So it's not your best explosive resistance, but still pretty passable nevertheless. It's a newer money tech, so you do not get the bullet resistant glass. So you don't get glass protection, unfortunately. Being a newer one, you also don't get machine guns on the front, which is pretty nice for player versus enemy contents. That's a little big downside there. It's silk lines on it, which is not super crazy, but it's still pretty nice nevertheless. Can definitely have its uses. And then your typical options, that's a lock-on jammer or remote control unit. It's not electric. Electric tends to be best for remote control units. I wouldn't really go for that one. It's just a muscle car. It's not a super speedy muscle car either, so I think definitely miss a lock-on jammer. That combined with armor plating makes it pretty crazy for free mode usage. As is just about any mining tech vehicle in the game, really. And yeah. Greenwood. And yeah. Greenwood also returns from Grand Theft Auto San Andreas in the 3D universe. That's where it mainly appears in, but it could be in like Vice City and stuff too, so that's pretty cool. Get some fun nostalgia with that one as well, 3D universe. And Gran Turismo R is going to be here. Not test ride, but prize ride this time around. Challenge this time around is the Alice Car Meet series, which is pretty much street race, pursuit race. Maybe the sprint races, I'm not sure about that third one though, but definitely the other two. Top 2 for 2 days in a row was actually pretty lenient on this one. Just now to see if it's on the website. This one did get added customization, but they still took away the Sterling GT, so it could be vaulted. Okay. I'm not sure if it's because of this. I'm not sure if it's because of this, with the Colonel Enterprise starter pack, if I still have it, or if it's actually still available, I'm not sure. It is from one of the oldest DLCs, being from the business update. It's a pretty old vehicle from like 2014. It's a pretty old vehicle from 2014. I believe they did actually add some new customizations on this one. But yeah, with Colonel Enterprises in 2022, I believe they added new customizations on this one. Could be wrong about that one. But still, it is worth noting, because it is such an old vehicle, you can get it in story mode as well. It's not really worth a garage space in online, I would say. If it did get added customizations, you can even get it in story mode as well for the newer customizations as well. I know that for a fact.
Catch you on the other side.
So it's hard to really recommend owning one in online, quite frankly, just because you can get it in the story mode as well, compared to a lot of ones that are only in online. But yeah, free for me because I've turned on the price starter pack. I don't know what the normal cost is, quite frankly, I don't know. But it's not too expensive, I know that for a fact. I think it's under $1 million for sure. But yes, according to the spreadsheet, for the supercar class, there's no R's in D tier, which is not good lap time at 37th place. And then top speed's even worse at 42nd place. But yeah, super old supercars are not good performance as you'd probably expect. So that's even further reason not to own one and online, just get it in story mode. HSW test ride this time around is the Coil Cyclone 2. One of the few HSW supercars in the game. One of the better couple, I would say, really. That prioritizes in the lap time over top speed. Most times you're going to be wanting that lap time, so it is kind of one of the better ones in that case. I'd rank it as number 2, number 3 out of like the 4 HSW supercars. Not many of them, so you might as well pick one up. I would say pretty much any HSW vehicle can be pretty good. If there were two, I would say were not good, it would be the GT and then NTMTs that I kind of mentioned earlier. So definitely a high recommendation to pick that one up. It was the first electric HSW vehicle of the game. Very good lap time. Top speed would be lacking since it is electric though. But the acceleration, you get the top speed real quick. It's not going to be as great as I said now. Pretty nice. Can definitely be pretty usable. Has some of the best acceleration of the entire game, in fact, as well. Yeah, I was about to say they don't update the cars here. That's not the monstrosity, and yeah, it's the Hellion. But I think I've got more outfits, but I haven't bought them yet. So I'm gonna be doing that here. Not outfits, but like something else. Like other clothing types. Like off stream, I think I got more unlocked. Okay, Aqua Soul knit sneakers. Alright, I also got the Green Emperor Modern hoodie recently. During on like street race to pursue races is on a money opportunity recently. I think I got during that. For both of those. Alright, looks like it's only those two. I'm gonna do this stash house here, why not? Since it's close.
I'm gonna drop you! Take that shithead down! Jerk off! Take cover! Are you alright? Alvarado's down! Over here it comes! Grab that son of a bitch! Ah! Medic! Say something!
That's one of the fun ones with the glass, that's always pretty fun. Mind shattering if I do. If I can much. Oh shit. Wait, I forgot there was one here. Oh, there's the sticky note. It's fun. It's actually useful to go here, apparently, not just for fun of it. Alright, 77, 79, 73. Yeah, 77, 79, 73. Shoot through. I think it's not where to. Okay, good, yes. I think right now I mixed up the numbers somehow.
I'm coming for you! You dirtbag! No, no!
Alright, we got counterfeit cash factory. Yeah, luxury autos time now. Now this one I kind of already said the Vigority X is going to be here, I'm pretty sure, and then I think it's one of the other muscle car HSW vehicles as well. Now of course 8th Gen has to have compatibilities that are just the regular versions, so they're not going to already have HSW on them, but few HSW eligible vehicles are here. But I do believe they are full prices to catch, so you gotta pay normal price on it. You can get a pretty exciting build on them. And because they have HSW, I don't think they're faulted at all. They should be on the websites. Alright, yes, the Classic Vigor ZX is confirmed here, indeed. And then you get the newest HSW muscle car to provide a Buffalo EVX as an option too here. Performance-wise, it basically said everything you need to know about them. Here is the X is basically your number one and number one for laps and top speed. And then the Bravado Buffalo EVX for the HSW one is number 2 and number 2, respectively. And again, the main reason the Buffalo EVX is not as good as the Vigor ZX is because it is an electric muscle car. So because of that, the performance kind of suffers a little bit when it comes to HSW in that kind of sense. logically it does kind of make sense. So yeah, if you're on 9th gen, you're some of your best vehicle. So yes, if you're on 9th gen, there's some of your best muscle cars available in the entire game. Now again, I don't remember the most on Buffalo EVX. The spreadsheet's a little bit outdated, so I don't have the exact performance of the regular one on this one. But yes, spreadsheet is a little bit outdated, so I don't have the exact performance on that one.
Raw vegetable app, a raw vegetable entree, and
For the
some kind of
regular, like,
vegetable
8th
dessert.
gen version of the vehicle, where you do not have the HSW in the game.
It's all out of my rooftop. Right out of the earth.
But either way, this one has a money tech on it. This has a money tech on it, even on 8th gen, so you can get armor plating, you can get, yes, you can get the armor plating, the missile lock and jammer remote control unit, the slick mines, the same stuff that's on the Greenwood from earlier. No bullet resistant glass, no machine guns though, since it is one of the newer ones and only the original contract ones really for the most part have those two legacy features for the most part. So I'm not going to go over performance on the 8th gen one, but it does have a money tech, so it's automatically worth getting. I will go for 8th gen performance for the Vigor ZX though, since there's no money tech, so you only want it for racing. But yeah. Again, I already went over the 9th gen one now. It's pretty much the best of the entire muscle car class again for a reminder. But yeah, top dog for the HSW for the entire class. For 9th gen, not 9th gen, for 8th gen, I mean, the regular Vigor ZX, at least as of like 2022, it's like at the bottom of the A tier, being 5th place for lap time. There hasn't been many muscle cars since release, I would say, of the Vigor ZX regular. So I would say it's for sure within top 10 still, so it's still definitely very worth getting on the 8th gen for the regular version. And then you get like 8th place top speed for the regular one, which might be within top 10 now, I'm not sure. Might be out of top 10 now, I'm not sure though. I'm not sure how many muscle cars are released that's been super good since the regular Vigor ZX. But it should still be a very solid option for 8th gen where you don't have HSW just purely for lap time alone. You don't really need to worry too much on top speed. It's got pretty nice top speed at company lap time, at least. That's already better than top speed. So that's a very good vehicle to pick up. I will check them on the websites though, make sure they're indeed not vaulted. Alright, Vigor is the X full price. And the AVX being a very new vehicle from the latest update, yeah, it's obviously going to pretty much be full price, especially with how good it is. Still, it's not already going to be on a sale pretty much. They did put the Monstrosity on sale for a tiny bit, on 25% off, so either way, either outcome would not have surprised me. Yeah, 1.9 like it was on the website, maybe a little more because of delivery though. Yeah, those are indeed full price, no discount on those. But again, they're both very damn good, regardless of platform. So either is a really damn good choice. last but not least for the dealerships, times for Simeons. And then it's going to be money opportunities, discounts, that kind of stuff from there. Have yet to be covered. So the 5 Simeon vehicles this time around. There is the Shyster Deviant. I think that's one from like Arena War DLC, like a muscle car from that update. Don't exactly if y'all remember that being the greatest thing, but I think it's one or two on discount. I kind of forget, but I think 2 of them are on discount. Yes, 2 of them are on discount, but I kind of forget. Yeah, shitty fucking froze, damn it. Shitty fucking froze, goddammit, though. Shitty fucking froze, would you let me speak, damn it? Yeah, I think this one might be on discount, but I'll have to look later. I think there's 2 on discount from what I saw on the news wire earlier. Rapid Peyote Gasser. I think it's one for like Dumb Casino Heist or something. The Inveterate Cockweb from day 1 of the game, it looks like. Pretty old one there, and you can just get into story mode. And the Vapid Blade. Pretty sure this is one from I'm Not a Hipster DLC, which is a pretty old update, like business update. Yes, Vapid Blade, I guess where's from I'm Not a Hipster update. And yeah, it's again a pretty old update, like the business update, so it should be in the story mode as well. So it should be in story mode as well. And then the classic Tulip M100. I think that's a pretty recent one from Drug Wars. I do believe this one's a pretty recent one from Drug Wars for sure. Alright. It's the first dude on discount. The Deviant is indeed one on discount. And then the other one is the Gasser, so it's the first 2 year, okay. So I'm gonna just talk about those 2 then. I do believe that Deviant was from Arena War update as a muscle car. And I think it was on the site. Maybe it's on server, I don't know. If it is indeed on Arena War, then it does look to be vaulted, and it's only available for the 1 week pretty much in that case. And for Arena here, it only looks to be the Impaler. It's not an arena vehicle, it's not actually for the arena, so it's not on that website. So this does look to be a vaulted vehicle, so if you want it, you gotta get it this week. But you will get it for 50% off, which is pretty massive. The version here with the very particular build and everything is going to be $276,520, not very much at all. And yeah, I definitely don't remember this being a very good performance on this one, so I think you're just going to want this one for customizations and small stuff like that. But yes, the Shyster Deviant. Muscle car class. Oh, I forgot I listed the website there, that's right, Legendary. I was right. My assumption there, definitely from the Arena update. Arena War update definitely was the introduction of it. Yeah, Shyster Deviant, according to the spreadsheet, is in the E tier for muscle car class, which means pretty bad lap time of 30th place, and 48th place in top speed. So yeah, you're not getting very good performance at all on this one. You just want it for customization and your like small, like minor reason and your personal preference kind of reasons to get it. But again, if you're gonna want this vehicle, you're gonna wanna have to pick it up pretty soon. It's not on the websites anymore. And then the Vapid Peyote gas, or I think it was from like Diamond Casino Resort or Diamond Casino Heist. And it's some sort of Andreas as it says there, since I'm learning that again lately. All these vaulted as vehicles lately. So I pretty much always knew about that. I haven't put much thought into that though, like looking at it before. Alright, yeah. That looks to be gone. So if you want it, you gotta get it here, it looks like. Right now on 40% off, it looks like it's 508,650 for the very particular build with the very particular livery and whatnot. The Peyote Gasser, it's basically a muscle car version of the Peyotes, which I think usually show up in Sport Classic. So it's like a muscle car Peyote from like day one of the game. Okay. According to the spreadsheet, the Peyote Gasser is at the very bottom of F tier, being pretty bad. 46th place for lap time. And it is 15th place for top speed, but that's still a good few placements out of top 10s. I would not bother for top speed anyways. Just don't get it for customization, just get it for being an interesting version of the Peyote. I suppose to be the main reason to get it, really, for kind of the nostalgia of it, kind of. Or any other, like, personal preference kind of reason, really. CIT discounts here are not very great, unfortunately. They're more because they're limited time vehicles. That's on the websites. That's gotta be vaulted. It's a day one vehicle. I doubt they kept the day one vehicle on the website, especially. Alright, yeah, it's not there. If you want it, you gotta get it here. See, I think it's over 100,000. You can't just steal on the streets either. You have to buy it, I believe. So it's basically exclusive here for now. Okay, it's a $138,000 vehicle. So yes, that would count as too hot to modify. So you cannot just steal off the street. The customize it, unfortunately not. This one is definitely in the sport class. Non-discounts are not going to give exact performance. Certainly, it does not perform good for today's standards, being from 2013. And yeah, you can just buy it in the story mode or like obtain it in the story mode for the streets to customize it. So no real reason to own it for online. Alright, checking two-door for my hipster update. It was definitely an introduction of the Blade back from like 2014. Okay, the Yuga, Surfer, the Panto, Rhapsody. No, really. It's one of the not hipster ones that actually vaulted. Yeah, they vaulted it apparently. But yeah. 2014 vehicle, you can just buy it in the story mode of the game, certainly. So, no real true reason to own it in online again, I would say. Pretty much be a waste of garage space. Hard to say which one of his two would probably be better to own. And then the Tulip M100. The brand new Tulip from the Los Santos Drug Wars DLC. I don't remember this one being impressive at all. Not going to be very good performance, I could swear on this one.
For some wheels? I'm Johnny on the spot. I'll hook you up. It's on the way.
god, it's so drivable. Shit. I'm pretty insane there because of off-roading. Yeah. Only party off-roading I really intended was like when you're like a rock or something. That's pretty dangerous. Oh fuck, of course. Okay, what the fuck? It's gonna go hell on my way to start the engine, god damn it. I mean, I guess I'm off-road capabilities here, so I'm not really caring right now if I get a good time. Eventually I'm just gonna go for it like I would a normal vehicle, I think. I did wonder about that, like, train track strategy on this one, if it would work well, since it is off-road. I guess like over here, you wanna go to train tracks. Because it's off-road, it might be easier time with that. I like to go over vehicles too. Besides for drag. Drag is like the only ones that drag is like the only one I've had much success with on the train tracks, really. For the motorcycle one, of course. Since you can stay on the rails pretty well with a motorcycle compared to a car, obviously. That's probably not better to deviate from the main road. But yes, main GPS route or some possible other good route that other people might know about might be pretty good. Just like any other vehicle for this one. No, I see just to be tundra, it's probably just I say just that we time trial, definitely just best to go regular route. Definitely just best to go regular route. But you'd have to get a little more leniency, I would say, because of it being off-road regardless, so... I think I still wish it would kind of do some better stuff that can with other vehicles, really. Besides for maybe the drag again, that'd be the only exception. Oh, now it rains, of course, somehow, what the fuck? Alright, fucking whatever. How to tip over, come on. Ow, fucking rain. Of course the rain is the worst fucking possible time, pretty much. They're not, to be honest, I'm good. But yeah, figured once I got figured, I figured once I got out of like the tedious section, I would just do like normal. By the way, for when I stopped kind of going crazy off-road, after like the first minute 50 seconds, whatever. Alright, yeah, Monstrosity was definitely a pretty interesting one here. Definitely have to do some pretty interesting off-road shortcuts. That would be pretty difficult if I ever wanted to, I would say. Again, aside from the drag, I think the drag is the one that would probably be able to do all the same stuff, not even more, because of its much smaller size, being a motorcycle and everything. Definitely one of the couple more interesting ones for this last time trial. It definitely makes the last time trial much less annoying. So if there's one that benefits greatly from the off-road class having an HSW now, it's this one, this latest one. The last of this here. So I have to think about which one I want to do next. I'll probably just do the latest ones. I'll probably do the Penado course next, I'm thinking I'll do. So I'll probably be doing the Penado course for sure next. That's definitely certainly the one I'll probably be doing. I think it had a pretty groundbreaking lap time. I think it definitely has a pretty groundbreaking lap time from what I recall in the sport class. Not the most familiar with desert spawns for like the aircraft spawns for small aircraft. Don't really have to use the F60, the F-160 rocket. I don't really have to use that every time, so we're gonna change it up this time. What if I try to follow it as Instimions, actually? Okay, I kinda figured it would not really let me in. Kinda figured it was worth trying. I found on actually, since it's really deceptive, I've never really tried it with a thruster before. But the doors just did not open there clearly. Since no funds allowed after all. But yeah, I've had to rank these vehicles from like best to worst, whatever, since there's like a few here, but everyone's only have a couple options. Quite frankly, I don't really feel any of these are super amazing performance, so probably the discount ones then for the best couple easily on this rotation for the 50% off and then the 40% off. This one even performs worse kind of basically than the Deviant because it's like A tier or whatever like I mentioned earlier, and this one's like F tier apparently for muscle car. So I would say that's number 1 option. This is number 2 option. This would be number 3 option, I would say, just because it's online exclusive. I'm pretty torn against this one or this one for like number 4 and number 5. This one's literally 2013. So like, I'm thinking this one would kind of be my least recommended here. Or this one just barely getting above it. Being a DLC vehicle at all. That's the way I look at it, at least for rankings. I feel none of them are super great, unfortunately, like I said, this time around. How 4 of them are fucking muscle cars. Selection was definitely pretty trash, I would say, this time, but at least 2 of them are on discount and are not on the websites. All but the M100, I'm pretty sure, were vaulted, certainly. As I explained earlier. I gotta go to my arcade to get that one emptied. I don't really care for the nightclub one, really. That one just fills up so fucking slow that I don't really bother with it, really. Because that one was on like tier 4 challenge, so I'll just keep it to 50,000. I know I already got the tier challenge. Or not tier 4 particularly, but some tier in the nightclub challenge. I mean, it's 250,000 for the save, which I already have. But I'm not gonna take the money out of the 250,000 for the nightclub. I could, but that one just fills up so slow unless you do the popularity missions, so I'm not gonna bother, really. I should probably borrow with popularity missions for the increased like income, since they increased it to like 50,000-ish or whatever, so like 1,000 highest or whatever. But it's still, I don't really care for those missions, really. I can't really be bothered to do them personally. I really can't. So yes, from there I should be ready to talk the remaining money opportunities, like discounts, any remaining advice for existing ones I already talked about, whatever, because I said I would maybe go more in depth with certain missions and stuff. For like recommendations and whatnot for ideal money making, really. And yeah, I'm planning on doing a junk and feet counter all that ways to go, just not right this second. My jetpack's in the gap, apparently, I guess. I don't know. So, I want to elaborate a bit more on lowrider, like Lamar missions, kind of all. Actually, did they do new adversary mode listings? Okay, no. Tiny racers, not stone airs, and running back. Special vehicle stuff and whatnot still in. So I guess later in August they'll be doing new sets of jobs, and right now, for some reason, they used to do it like very early in the month, but I don't know why they're doing it a bit later anymore. So for day 1 contact missions, when it comes to Lamar, there's balls to the wall, which is one of his earlier missions, so probably not one to grind so heavily there. I'm just gonna talk Lamar's for now, talk Ron's a little later, I think. Caught napping. One of his other, like, day 1 missions. I don't really think it's one of the greater ones as well, if I recall right, and not really one to do consistently for money making, I would say. It's another option, nevertheless. Okay, yeah, lowrider ones are gonna be, like, scattered all across, I guess I'll mention those. Okay, give me outreach. Each team takes a lowrider tries to start war between the Frogos and the Ballas. This one's actually not that bad if you do a certain shortcut, I think, by the airport, if I recall. There's like a certain, or like ramp shortcut you can take on this mission that makes it significantly easier than taking like main roads and whatnot all the way through. It's not a bad mission difficulty-wise, but I think honestly, his regular missions I feel are more replayable than the lowrider missions. The main reason really due to lowrider missions, I would say, is for the tier 4 on that, as I mentioned earlier. You do get tier 4 challenges for that. Now let's be Trevor for like a Ron mission. Another Ron one. Desperate times call for. Okay, this is one I think where you're in like the moonbeam on like the sides, shooting like interesting weapons on the sides. The moonbeam mission's pretty interesting since you do get to use like assault rifles, like LMGs and stuff on like the sides of the moonbeam, which is pretty fun. So you do get some pretty fun weaponry to use on the sides. Besides for that, which I really say it's not much more interesting than the other lowrider missions. For sure. Wrong mission. Alright, funeral party. Which is where you infiltrate a Vago's. Which is where you infiltrate a Vago's funeral. But yeah. I feel the first part of this mission is pretty fun. First part mission. The first part of the mission is pretty fun, I feel. Because at the beginning you can actually use personal vehicles. You can actually get some personal vehicle use on this one, which is not usual for the lowrider missions, but you can use them in some parts of this mission at least. Which is definitely pretty fun. Personal vehicle use alone can make this one more interesting. Lowrider ones to grind consistently if you want to. But there's parts where you have limited. But there. But there is parts where you have more limited weaponry where you can't use all your weapons, I'm pretty sure, on certain parts of the missions, so that's a little unfun, I feel. So there's some fun parts of being allowed to use personal ones on this. You can use personal vehicles on this mission, I recall, which is pretty fun. But you do get some limited weaponry as well on your weapon wheel, I believe, which is not fun in that regard. So I'm very mixed on that mission, kind of. Besides for the little Silk Cross, like, San Andreas, like, reference, where it's similar to one of those missions from San Andreas. Going down to GO8 is one of those like gas tanker kind of like Lamar missions. I don't again really think it's one of the better ones for like grinding consistently if I remember right for his like day one set of contact missions. It's the G thing. This one's a pretty fun one, I feel, not gonna lie. It's one of a couple lowrider missions where you can actually use personal vehicles on them, which is pretty fun. I was having to use like a half track of theirs, and I was like, fuck it, might as well roll with it. And I learned how pretty fun the half track is on that mission. It's pretty fun. So it's interesting use for a vehicle like the half track, which you don't usually get a lot of use for. Because you want a pretty armored vehicle, I believe, when you're picking up Gerald, so you're not getting shot when you're trying to take him away from police custody. So it's a very fun mission for a lowrider mission. I think it's one of the funner lowrider missions. Ron mission.
I'm hoping the Packers will kill Liberty City Wrath in that game tonight so I can vent some of my pent-up aggression.
Okay, awesome. See Rip. This is one of his day one Lamar missions right here. There's a weird glitch with this mission, by the way, be wary of it. I think there's a glitch where if you like try to kill them without like triggering a marker, it says like mission over, like mission failed, whatever. I think I explained it on like one of my, I actually explained it on one of my like lowrider videos. I actually have like a two-parter like lowrider video where I go pretty in depth into lowrider missions. Pretty much my most successful episodes of contact mission content, a series I do about like all the different contact missions up to a certain point so far. Haven't done one in a while, so it's only up to like last play or some shit, but it's still. Still. It's a pretty easy mission where you just blow everything up. You basically just blow everything up, but it's just to make sure you trigger a certain marker, or I think the mission will just fail on you for some reason. Which is kind of a glitch with the mission. Lowrider NV. One fight to cover while the other creeps on a ballless operation. I think this is a sniping one, I believe, right here. But yes. I think this is the one where you have like a sniper team and like a ground team, whatever. In my opinion, it's one of the least. In my opinion, it's one of the least replayable ones because you have to kind of communicate with another person to be able to do your sniping pretty well and whatnot. So I'm not big on this one. I believe it's that mission right there. No smoking. Bruh, what the fuck? Finally. Sure what went on with the thumbnails there, but whatever. No smoking. I think this is the one I like to grind consistently here, no smoking, because it's one of his highest rank missions for his day one contact missions. So for Lamar day one contact missions, I think this is kind of the best one. I think that's when you use the armored crewman, I think was my suggestion, if I remember right from my video. Armored crewman makes this one a cakewalk, because it does for a lot of different contact missions in the game. So I think that's definitely the consistent grind for the day one lowrider missions. Peace offerings. I think this is the last mission, if I remember right, for the lowrider missions. And that last mission has a crazy shootout at the end, which makes it kind of quite the bitch. I would say it's one of the least replayable lowrider missions in the game, I would say. Yeah, this one in the sniping one, which I believe is Lowrider Envy, I believe is definitely some of my least favorite for the Lamar missions for grinding consistently. So I'd probably avoid avoid that in Lowrider Envy. So I think they're definitely inconsistent. I think they're definitely going to be pretty inconsistent ones to grind, I would say, in this season for Lowrider. Point and shoot. We're going to have cars coming to Vagos me, so we're going to identify the ones you gotta take. I think this one has a decent amount of combat in it, but it is a pretty doable one, if I remember right. It is pretty doable. I think you can get some pretty interesting use of your explosive sniper, where of course you can do like RPG and stuff if you're going for a tier 4, where you need to have like pretty high accuracy requirements and stuff for that tier 4 challenge. Romance isn't dead. Oh no, that's a Trevor mission, right? Or Ron mission, I mean. So I'll do that one a little later. Andreas Seal, it's one of those like gas tanker kind of ones with Lamar again. Again, it's not going to be as good as No Smoking, I would say. So not one too worth grinding consistently per se. Not saying it's a bad mission, but it's not one of the better ones he has for D1. Short trips, talk about those a little later. Again, a little more slow and low. That's the one where you can get lowriders across the city without getting spotted by the cops. I feel that one has way too much randomness on it with the popos to be too worth grinding consistently, I feel. But yeah, I feel there's way too many inconsistencies of this mission because of the popo spawning. But the spawning of the popos is pretty sporadic. So it's not consistent with the popo spawning, so I wouldn't really do it multiple times. To get to Elysium. Another one of those like tanker ones with Lamar. Very consistent theme. That's a very consistent theme for his missions, tanker stuff. Not really one of the better ones. I do believe this is a moving vehicle. This one might be the one with like a moving vehicle, which in that case that would be good for the weaponized Tampa. Weaponized Tampa is very good for taking out moving targets. So weaponized Tampa is probably a very high recommendation if it's one of the moving vehicle. That thumbnail kind of gives that vibes to me, I'm not sure though. That's a Ron mission. That's a Ron mission. Alright. So day 1 lowrider missions. Not lowrider. Day 1 Lamar missions ends with ticket to Elysium in the alphabetical order, it looks like. Again, I think no smoking for day 1 is kind of your best option for day 1 Lamar missions. And yeah, I think I found all the lowrider ones for sure. And yes, certainly I found all the day 1 lowrider missions. Not day 1. Certainly I found all of the lowrider missions for sure. I don't think I gave a mission. I don't think I gave a mission that was like the most worth for playing when it came to the lowrider missions. Since you're mainly doing those ones to complete the story, you're not really like usually grinding those to make serious money though. But yes, I think I gave some pretty good recommendations on ones that are worth doing and ones that are worth avoiding. Kind of, I think I did pretty good with that for the lowrider missions too. So people can decide. So people can decide. So people can decide from my advice. Okay, now for Ron missions. Base Invaders. Base Invaders, I think, is actually my main recommendation, if I recall right from the thing. Now, my vehicle recommendation was the Hydra, if I remember right, and I know that got nerfed with Andreas Mercenaries. My shitty fucking fruit, you let me speak, goddammit. But yes. Base Invaders, if I remember right, is actually my main recommendation when it comes to Ron contact missions. I think it is kind of his best mission. And I think it kinda has to do with the infinitely spawning enemies. Now, infinitely spawning enemies is usually pretty annoying. But yes. Now, infinitely respawning enemies I think are usually pretty annoying, but it's not the crazy accuracy that we have nowadays where AIs can have pretty crazy accuracy. I don't think the accuracy of the enemies is anything too special on that mission, if I recall right, for Base Invaders. But yeah. Some ways infinitely spawning NPCs is actually pretty good. Some ways infinitely respawning enemies can actually be pretty damn good. Because it will extend the time of the mission, which could in turn mean more money.
Oh yeah, I know the guy there. I get the special treatment.
But yes. Usually infinitely respawning enemies is pretty annoying, but infinitely respawning enemies could in turn make the mission longer and therefore could give you more money. But I think with how interesting of a mission it is, there's so many interesting vehicles you can use in it, I think it's kind of my main recommendation for a Ron contact mission. Definitely a high recommendation, worth playing, believe it or not. Believe it or not. Believe it or not. And by the way, all of Lamar's day one contact missions are soloable, which is nice. So all the Lamar day one missions were soloable, which is quite cool. Only contact of day one contact missions were all soloable. That's 1 plus of Lamar missions for the day 1 ones. Lowrider missions, so you need at least 2 to 4 players depending on the mission though, which is pretty annoying, but yeah, so they're not as replayable as the day 1 lowrider. They're not as replayable as the day 1 Lamar missions. But again, it's the best Ron mission, I easily say, as I've explained.
I was hoping we could continue the conversation we had the other day about my proposal.
Also Lamar from earlier.
Oh, sure, of course, I understand. Life is crazy busy, believe me. I know. How about next week? Uh-huh. Sure, I understand.
Alright, crank up the volume. It's a soloable Ron mission, so it's better for solo play, so at least you can solo this one, that's a plus. I think it's a little bit on the lower end in terms of rank requirement though, so it might not be the greatest. Better rank requirement than the base invaders mission, but rank requirement doesn't increase money by much, to be fair. So maybe it could be pretty alright. Damon Run. Now, Damon Run here is a 2-player mission, which is a little more annoying and it's a little more effort than it should need, I feel. So, kinda not as great of a recommendation. You do get more cash with more players, I think, so that could be a benefit there on that one, since you have to have 2 players in some ways. But probably one I at least recommend because of the player requirement. Looks like I finally got another Ron mission here, feeling the flames. But yeah, feeling the flames is only a rank 20 requirement thing. It's a bit lower on the cash because of that. It is soloable though, at least. This one doesn't involve a tinker, and you're probably gonna maybe be doing a lot of that with Lamar already, so not necessarily too much of a recommendation on that one. Landing gear. Now this one I think is the highest requirement of like any day 1 contact mission for minimum player count. It is kind of an insane mission if I recall it right, I don't remember. It is a pretty high rank requirement, which is pretty good in that regard. I mean, pretty high rank requirement can mean a good bit better money there for sure. Downside is you do need 4 players, which is very strict for day 1 contact mission. For day 1 contact mission, that's super ridiculously strict. But again, in turn, more players could be more money though. So it could be a pretty good one if you're willing to get all the players for it, and with it being 3 times, you're likely to get more players. isn't dead here. Ring 13, I kinda think it's pretty much the earliest run mission here. I think it's the lowest rank requirement so far. So in that regard, not really too worth doing. It is soloable at least, and that's good, at least there. Yeah, I'll mention short trips a little later. Anything below that, I think, is all run at that point, because I think it's the last Lamar one in alphabetical order, if I recall right. Okay, Turbine Carbine. Only rank 25 on the rank requirement, not one of the higher ones there. Could maybe pretty alright at best, I would say. At least it's doable, so that's good. Wet Workers. Wet Workers, I do actually believe, is one of Ron's better contact missions. One of his highest rank requirement ones, because rank does kind of influence the money from what I remember on these. And yeah, unlike landing gear, whatever, this one can be done solo and it's a rank 55 as well, so it can be one of your better solo options for sure. This one you do gotta take like a bow across like water all across and whatnot, so if that's not much your thing kind of, then that might not be the greatest mission, but it's pretty fun nevertheless. I think it's definitely one of his better missions. I think that might be his last one, yes. So I say Wet Workers, Base Invaders, if you're willing to go for players, landing gear can be pretty damn good in that kind of case. And the multiple player ones can be good if you want to get players for it. So that's a good few recommendations kind of for wrong contact missions. And yeah, last but not least, I think it's the short trips in the mission list. I figured since I was already in the mission list, I would go over this or types of waiting a bit longer. So I want to go in like order here, kind of in terms of the storyline. This one are all listed together, and like the low rider ones, which are all sporadic. So these ones all listed together on like the low rider ones, which are unlike the low rider ones, which are much more sporadic listing and everything. So that's what I'm talking about, this one in story order. So the first mission for a short trip, Seek Capital. This is definitely the first one, definitely. Of course, being the first one in the set does make it one of the easier ones of the couple for sure. And yeah, these missions are getting the same payout regardless of time. You're getting like 100,000 on hard mode, like I explained earlier, or something on double money. So no need to worry about how long a mission lasts in the case of short trips. So Sea Capital is definitely one of your better grinding ones. Fire it up. I say this one is actually one of the easier ones as well, because you do have the technical. You do get the technical that you get to use in the mission, which is pretty good. Not having to use like the limited weaponry of your characters of Frank and Lamar, not having to use their limited weaponry and be able to use the technical instead makes it one of the easiest, if not the easiest even. The hardest one is easily OG Kush, the last one. because you have like a helicopter, you have like a technical and like a helicopter to take out in that mission, which is not super great. And you can't really use the technical very effectively on OG Kush, like you can't ever fire it up. So more of the first two I would prioritize. OG Kush is like a last resort one. I played the short trips and they don't show up, and recently played jobs and it looks like okay. I don't know if it's because I joined it and I wasn't host or what, I'm not sure. You might not be able to put the short trips in a playlist. So you might not be able to put those in a playlist. So yes, you might not be able to put those in a playlist. Lowrider missions, I'm pretty sure you cannot put in a playlist if I remember right. And yeah. Lowrider missions on hard mode, I think it's like heists where you don't get any life, so lowrider missions are actually pretty hard. Since in the hard mode you actually don't get an extra life. Which newer missions like the Drug Wars, Andreas, and Mercenaries kinda went back to that.
Hey, Terry. You gotta start getting me some gigs with some bigger names. C-listers?
But yes. Lowrider missions are like heists where you don't get an extra life on hard. I actually kinda forgot to mention that, but it does make lowrider missions one of the harder ones because you don't get the extra life on hard. And you're gonna have to do hard for the tier 4 challenge if you're on 9th gen. If you want to. But yeah. Kinda doesn't look like you can do short trips in a playlist, so that's kinda limit the replayability of those, in addition to having the limited loadouts and stuff, and playing as Michael Lamar because you're not going to use your own personal vehicles and stuff like that to make the missions go by quicker. So really, the day 1 Lamar missions might kind of be your best money making in a sense, because those you can definitely put in a playlist. Not the lowrider ones, but the regular ones you should be able to be putting in a playlist. And how you do that... how you do that... And how you do that... You may think when it comes to contact missions you can go for mission, but you cannot, unfortunately. Did they break it? What the fuck? Oh wait. I don't know, did they break the mission, like, did they break the playlist feature? What the hell? I'm so confused. But yes. It's not working for some reason right now, but it's still... I think it's like arena war or adversary mode, like versus missions that usually show up here. But yeah, you may think you can do contact missions through that, but you cannot. they kind of nerfed the contact missions for playlists back on 7th gen. They kind of nerfed that, so you have to do it a little bit differently than you would usually. To make your own contact mission playlist, you have to play it, and then you have to go through recently played jobs. So you do have to play it once, unfortunately. But still, once you play it one time, you can make a playlist, and then you can play it unlimitedly pretty easily, which is the best way to play the Day 1 Lamar missions. Lowrider missions, pretty sure you cannot do it with lowrider missions. Short trips, they don't seem to show up for me when I join somebody else's. I'm not sure it's because I joined someone else and I didn't host it, or if even hosting, you might not be able to have like the ability to replay short trips for that. Because initially they weren't in the boss menu, so it probably doesn't work for short trips then. That's probably only a trick for the Day 1 lowrider missions. Excuse me. That's probably just a trick for Day 1 Lamar missions, not lowrider didn't. I keep getting tongue twisted and shit by Lamar and lowrider both start with L and shit, god damn it. But yeah, taxi work. I did kind of want to specify something on taxi work that I haven't yet. Kind of something new with Andreas Mercenaries. If you get the taxi liveries for the Broadway and then the Eudora, you can actually use those in the taxi work now. So yeah, you can actually use the Eudora and Broadway as taxi vehicles if you get the taxi liveries, which is pretty cool. So now there's actually further incentive to go for those deliveries if you ever have to do so for the Broadway and then Eudora, since you can actually use them now. Not that I don't really see them being better options than your regular taxi much per se. Even taxi custom is probably your better option, the one from like the arena when you hit the tier 25, like sponsorship tier 25 in the arena, whatever. That taxi, I think, is definitely going to be your best option when it comes to vehicles for the taxi work.
Hello, this is Pegasus Lifestyle Management. How can I help?
But yeah, taxi custom from the arena is definitely going to be your best option, I would say, for the taxi work.
Call again. Goodbye.
Taxi, the regular taxi itself, does not have engine upgrades. You cannot customize directly your taxis. That's why the taxi custom is so good, is because it has some engine upgrades and whatnot already on it. And it's like a red one, which is similar to the 3D universe. Taxi rewards that you get in like Grand Theft Auto Free and Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories, where you have like just red taxis you can unlock. It's more similar to the Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories one, I'm pretty sure, in particular, the big ol' 76 and whatever, it's kind of like that. Pretty cool. Pretty cool one for tier 25, whatever, in the arena. Very, very damn cool, helpful reward when it comes to the arena. Very damn cool, useful reward when it comes to the arena, for sure. But yeah, Sumo Remix, there's 7 maps for that, so there's 7 options in total for that. 7 map options in total, 16 player count, which is pretty decent. I think only really higher one than 16, I feel it tends to be like Motor Wars. I think Motor Wars of like the 20-ish players that one has, whatever, is pretty good in terms of player. I want to say Motor Wars is the highest player count allowed on an adversary mode. 16 players is a pretty good player count, so that's definitely nice. But again, unless you're on 9th gen, you need different adversary modes for your tier 4 or whatever. I don't see too much point in playing it, to be honest. But keep in mind, it is available permanently. It is one of the more permanent adversary modes in the game, so you don't have to worry about it going. It is one of the more permanent adversary modes in the game, so you do not have to worry about it going away. Alright, looks like I got everything for money opportunities. Fully explained as much as I wanted to explain, for sure. Oh, the person's still in there, okay, I didn't know that actually. I think we're all honking it up randomly too before now. I was like, what the fuck now? Wondering that's the MS spot and everything, that's their fault. Okay, so yeah, just remaining discounts at this point. And I'll probably do the junk and treat time trial as well to end off. So I'll start with property discounts. So I want to start with a different one first. But yes, all apartments have to be on discount. Any that aren't on discount are standalone garages, and then I assume Eclipse Boulevard is not on discount as well, and that's a more separate thing, and they did that. And they did that pretty recently, I'm pretty sure anyways, so I guarantee that's not on discount as well. only thing that should not be on discount on the site, individual garages and then Eclipse Boulevard, definitely not. So you're not getting the 50 car thing, definitely not. Just unfortunate, but they did a pretty recent, I believe, like I said, so it's pretty understandable there. You don't really want you do not really want individual garages anyway, so just apartments is not a big deal in my opinion. Might as well get the apartments so you can get a bunch of different locations for your heists. Might as well get the apartments so you can get different locations for your different, like, original 2015 heists. You might as well. Different locations could help you with, like, different elite challenges and whatnot, for all you know. But yeah. Don't go for not two door. Don't go for 2 car and then 6 car, that's a waste. The way it works is you can own 8. Don't go for 2 and 6. The way it works is you can own 8 individual apartment garages. Doesn't matter the size, you can only own 8. So you obviously want to be going 10 since you don't get to just own 8 of like each type for 10, 6, and 2. So always go for 10 car. They're not overly expensive normally, or even on discount especially. So you're always going to be wanting to go to 10. Unless you want like beer at your like apartment. I think there's like the beer that can appear at your apartment, but I think it's only the like low-end ones or something that don't have like 10 vehicle storages. That would be probably the only time you would want anything but 10 pretty much for an apartment. But even then, that's pretty much nonsense stuff to care about, so I would not care for that. And then hangars are going to be on discount as well. Looks like your cheapest one instead of 1.2 million on a 40% off discount, whatever for property, will be 720,000. So like 40,000 savings there, definitely, certainly. Not the greatest savings on that one, but you can still get a hangar for under 1 million, which is pretty insane. That's when you can get it for like 915,000 if you want one at the airport. This one you're even getting like 610,000 off, which is up in the ante from this one pretty well, by like another 140,000 kind of ish, I guess. But yeah, the way it works with the hangar, you can only own 1 hangar in the game. So you have to choose either LSI or Force Incubator. You cannot have both, unfortunately. But yeah. Fortunately, they did not add a second hangar, and they did not, like, expand on hangar space whatsoever for your vehicles, unfortunately for your aircraft. So yeah. Choose either LSI or Force Incubator. But yeah, LSIA, if you get that, you can spawn vehicles in LSIA, which is pretty nice. But yes, LSIA, you can spawn vehicles in LSIA. Can have its advantages compared to spawning in Fort Sancudo. So it really depends on where you want to be able to spawn things at, is your main reason to get one in a certain location. Fort Zancudo, I think Fort Zancudo is the better option personally, though. I do still think that even with the jet nerfs and whatnot. Okay, you're getting a little over 800,000 savings on the cheapest Fort Zancudo hangar, which gets it a little over 1,250,000. From a little over 2 million, that's pretty good. That's a pretty good entry point right now, and 40% off.
Shopping at Leopold's. I know everything. You're a naughty girl. I must punish you.
This one is where you get over a million savings, like 1,060,000. It's pretty nice. And then yeah, the most expensive, which I got just recently, is the A2 hangar. Right in the smack that middle of Fort Zancudo. Pretty nice. Pretty damn nice. So this one's really just for spawn convenience at the airport, in my opinion, and from what I know. Fort Zancudo lets you actually access Fort Zancudo, which is pretty huge because you cannot normally access Fort Zancudo without a 1 level in like free mode of the game. You can during certain missions that disable the 1 level anyways, but I'd rather just have that ability for free mode altogether, so I do like Fort Zancudo for that reason. And yeah, you get all the different spawns at Fort Zancudo, which you can't normally get there without all kinds of trouble there. So there's Titans. So there's a Titan, like cargo planes, there's like the laser jets. You can take all those pretty much. Shitty fucking frozen in here. But yeah. You can't normally take the Titans and the lasers out effectively, but with low level clearance, where you can enter the base as long as you're not causing trouble and stuff, pretty much without 1 level, then yeah. You can take lasers, you can take all different kinds of vehicles with a 2-star 1 level instead of like I think 4-star obviously or whatever it is, normally even 5-star maybe. That's pretty huge incentives for Fort Zancudo. Yes, they did nerf the laser jet with Andreas Mercenaries. It's not as good of a cannon anymore, but I still think it's a very nice incentive so you don't have to keep calling the laser for like Pegasus every time or anything. So that's always a nice benefit to have. Now, until recently, I would have recommended any of these three pretty much equally. But yes, until recently, I would have recommended any of these like 3 hangars pretty equally for Fort Zancudo. But on 9th gen, but yes, on 9th gen, if you own the A2 hangar, apparently it helps for on parade. A2 hanger with on parade apparently for the 80% accuracy thing. Apparently it's actually pretty good to own an A2 hanger. And that's because a certain tank only spawns apparently very consistently if you own an A2, apparently, from what I've heard. So you do want to own an A2 if you're trying to go for 80% accuracy, apparently, on parade. Apparently it makes it easier. With a certain tank spawn, it only really spawns with that, all that effect. But yes, certain tank spawn only spawns pretty effectively on parade with like A2 hanger apparently. So yes, A2 hanger is very worth owning for that alone, so you might as well just get it if you're on 9th gen. Because apparently A2 hanger is that benefit over the other two of like certain tank spawns. Sorry, I said it so many times, my sheet throat was not allowing me to speak all that well, didn't it? So until recently, I would have recommended any of those, but A2 has been buffed. But A2 has been buffed a little bit, as I explained.
Go suck your own cock. I don't need the money.
Now for the modification renovations, you gain 40% off of those as well. Wait, what the hell? What kind of glitch was that? It's changing the lighting randomly, what? Even though I'm not on lighting, what the fuck? So you get cosmetic styling, cosmetic lighting discount, cosmetic floor graphics, cosmetic on the office furniture. Those are all just cosmetic stuff, they don't matter too much. Living quarters, you absolutely do want the living quarters. Living quarters. Living quarters, you absolutely should want the living quarters since that's what allows you to spawn at the hangar. If you do not have living quarters, I do not believe you can spawn there as your spawn location. So definitely be sure to get the living quarters. This is just a cosmetic, however, at the bottom though. Like all those other few cosmetics.
Yeah, what's cracking?
So make sure to get this. This is totally worth getting for just spawning alone in the hangar. And then the hangar workshop lets you modify your vehicles for personal aircrafts. Certain vehicles can only be modified at a hangar. Certain vehicles can only be stored with a hangar, so you might as well get the ability to modify them as well. And then just recently the weapon workshop was added. And just recently the weapon workshop was added so you can modify your Mark II weapons. Plenty of places already where you can do it, but didn't make the workshop any more expensive. It's still the same price apparently. So you essentially get a free weapon workshop since I don't think they increased the price of the workshop because of that. So it is one of your better properties for a weapon workshop, I suppose, technically. Besides for being able to modify aircrafts, which is pretty essential to maximize on your hangar. So living quarters, the workshop are definitely the main two. For the 40% off. Now for any remaining vehicle discounts. Now I want to talk about any remaining vehicle discounts at this point. Taxi was on the main menu already. The taxi was already on the main menu, so I'm not going to mention anything more about that compared to what I already mentioned on the main menu section at the beginning of the stream. And then yeah, for everyone's already mentioned, there was the Greenwood Monitech vehicle, the Peyote Gaster, and the Deviant. And then yeah, the last two discounts for vehicles are ones I kind of already alluded to, actually. And those will be vehicles that can turn into taxi vehicles. The Classic U Broadway.
Oh, sure, of course, I understand. Life is crazy busy, believe me, I know.
Classic U Broadway, almost 300,000 in savings here.
Sure, I understand.
Very cool nostalgic vehicle from Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. It's a very cool returning vehicle from that game. And they even brought back the Classic U manufacturer, which is pretty cool. There was other Classic U vehicles in the past, but they never used the Classic U logo like the Stallion, and they used the Class 8 instead for the Stallion for some reason. So it's the first true Classic U vehicle in the game, which is pretty cool. The size for being able to make it a taxi. And then yeah, the Eudora here. Eudora is a 4-door taxi thing here that you can get. So yeah, I don't think I want to mention the performance on those two, since you can use them for the taxi work. Since you can use them for taxi work, I don't want to mention performance on those, since you're already going to have a purpose for using them. I'm pretty sure they don't perform very good anyway, so keep that in mind. I'm pretty sure they don't perform good anyway, so keep that in mind. You're not getting good performance on those. But as you can use them in taxi work, I don't feel the need to mention the performance on those, since they do have unique purposes in the game. Believe it or not. As long as you get those taxi liveries for those certain challenges for those. As long as you get those taxi liveries for those certain challenges for those, yes. And last but not least, gun van discounts. I guess a security van. I don't feel like I have to use a sticky bomb right now, to be quite honest. I really don't. I'll do it later. Oh wait, not later, because it'll be gone, that's right. I'm just not going to care about it then. Because I want to do the junk energy time trial. I should have, since it is pretty new content, I should have, but I've already done like 2 of them anyways. I don't feel like wasting a stick bomb every time, quite frankly. And it's not as fun as it was on 7th gen, so it's not as great as the 7th gen version, so I don't really care, quite frankly. was it again? Because, okay, yeah, it's up there still. That's right. Parking on the side of that might be one of the better places to put in there than not having to weigh, I'm thinking, as much at least. And that might no long straight, we're in a good spot. The curse boost for that long straight, I'm thinking to maximize on the use of it in a way. Oh, seriously. Damn, my back kinda hurts barreling forward on my chair right now. I'm gonna dance. Got fucked there. Fuck, man. I don't think it's holding me down that heavily to where I can maybe still end up doing this. Unless some other major mistake happens, but still. Looks like it should be near the end here, I'm guessing. Because it kind of goes into the end at this point after all. Alright, easy. Even with that mistake, easy. Those are super easy time trials. When they are on bikes, like, they're on cycles after all, so I guess it kind of makes sense to be some of the easier ones. 39,241,773. Awesome. Alright. Alright, yes, I just wanted to check my agency where that was at again. So, last but not least, gun van discounts. And the gun van lineup for the week as well. Might as well. So, the gun van lineup apparently includes the battle axe this time around. Just basically one of your, like, many, like, melee weapons you're not gonna get much use out of, really. Nothing special with it, really, as far as I remember. Just for collection sake, really, I would say on that one. Widowmaker. This one is 30% off for the public. So there is a discount on this one, so I want to mention more about it later on then. Service Carbine. I would say it's kind of the best assault rifle in the game. But yeah, Service Carbine, not much less damage than the heavy rifle, maybe a little less damage, but a lot more fiery, definitely sure makes up for that lack of damage, and would probably even output more damage than the heavy rifle because of that crazy fiery, I'm guessing. The accuracy is even much more insane apparently than the heavy rifle, which is pretty great. The only main weakness is no scope on it, really. But yeah, there's no true scope on it. That's the only main weakness on it, I would argue. Everything else is super damn good on it, so I do highly recommend picking that one up. But it is normal price. Pistol .50. Pretty powerful pistol. More powerful than most pistols of the game, aside for like single shot ones like the marksman. Aside for the marksman pistol, aside for single shot pistols and revolvers, it's kind of like one of the more powerful pistols of the game essentially. But yeah, it's basically the most powerful traditional pistol if you're not counting revolvers or the single shot ones like the marksman and the Perico pistols. That's kind of pretty cool. But pistols are really not that useful, so probably mainly for collection sakes on that one. Yeah, probably mainly for collection sakes on that one for sure. The Assault SMG looks to be in the listing for the gun van this time. Just like the newest tactical SMG, it does have 60 ammo capacity, just like that one. But you cannot drive by with it unless you're in like a moonbeam or something pretty interesting that allows for the huge weapons to be drive-by with. But yeah, it's basically a combination of like an assault rifle. It's basically a combination of an assault rifle and SMG. But yeah, Might as well just use a proper assault rifle, since a lot of those have 60 anyways, so it's more of an assault rifle for like mid-range combat in a sense over like long-range combat in a way, but of course it's an SMG, so it can have its uses, but assault rifles are good for mid and long range usually, so why even use it really? It looks like you didn't get the regular SMG, not the Mark II, but the Mark I version. But yeah, so you can get the Mark I SMG. But yes. But yes. You can get the Mark I SMG automatically worth it since that's a Mark II upgrade for the ammo types. Definitely something worth getting for sure. You have the proper minigun in this time. Funnily enough, this is the subscription exclusive discount, whereas this one's the general discount this time. Funnily enough, their copy paste ones are on discount this time. And then for throwables, sticky bomb. So I only have 2 proximity mines out of nowhere. Not surprising if it will. Unless I was from a certain job or something, I forget. Like that death on the golf course or something from my playlist thing or something was showing off, but still. Sticky bomb, pipe bomb. Proximity mine as well, apparently, for your free throwables this time around. So, now to talk about the 2 discounts, the Widowmaker and the minigun. Again, Widowmaker is a general 30% off for everybody. 8th gen, 9th gen subscription people would probably get a little more. And then minigun is 30% off, but only for 9th gen people with the subscription. But yeah, they're basically just the same weapon, basically. The Widowmaker is basically just a fancier looking version of the minigun that shoots lasers instead. Mostly a cosmetic difference, there could be a small difference, but nothing huge or anything. I think there's like 3 holes on this one, but you don't get like 3 streams of bullets on this one, unfortunately. It's just 1 stream of bullets, like the minigun, whatever. They can be exchanged. You can only get... You can get both of them, but you might as well just get one if you don't care to collect both of them. So Widowmaker for everybody would be the better choice since it's not a general discount. But if you have the subscription, minigun is good as well. Before the railgun was a thing, they were the only bullet-based heavy weapons in the game. They were the only bullet-based heavy weapons of the game before the railgun kind of came in now. As of the previous Essential Struggle Wars update. As of the previous Essential Struggle Wars update. But yeah. Unlike the railgun, they're not explosive. explosive bullets though, so not great. It can have its uses, but when are you really gonna want regular bullets over Nick? But when are you really gonna want it next? But when are you gonna want like non-explosive rounds over an explosive like RPG, homing launcher, all kinds of explosive ammo? Hell, even a compact EMP launcher would probably have more uses in some ways than that even. And that's even with it using grenades and not like air burst, which would have made it significantly better, like the open atomizer, for example. So they're good enough to be worth considering at least for one of the, for one of the two, for one of the two at least. So yeah, that's my shitty dying ass bro. This is an over 3 hour long stream, unfortunately. By the way, I forgot to mention, but Red Dead Redemption 2, Red Dead Online, Red Online. Red Dead Online is actually getting new telegrams, or a new telegram this month of for this month of August. I mean, not July, but August. So in August, there's a brand new telegram for Red Dead Online. Surprisingly, kind of, though, going off of like certain leaks and like rumors and stuff, that could kind of add up, I guess. But yes, I think that's definitely fine when I do it for this stream, though. Next stream is either going to be another GTA 9 thing or Red Dead if the new Telegram releases by then. So that's fine with me for the stream. I hope you enjoyed.